Good Monday morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's a new month. There's a couple things actually going on right now. So, first off, yes, it's September 1st. So, we're kicking off a new month. It's a new week. It's also the what some would consider the unofficial end to summer, which is kind of a sad occurrence, but it also is the beginning of meteorological fall. Now, you might be saying, okay, what's the difference between meteorological fall and what we actually consider the beginning of fall, which will come later this month? Well, the difference is in weather, in climatology, we break down the calendar year into 4 quarters, right? And so you have January 1st to March 1st. That's going to be your meteorological winter. Then you have March 1st until June 1st. That's going to be your meteorological spring. April 1st to well, April 1st, sorry, April 1st to June 1st, that's meteorological spring. Sorry, June 1st to August, uh, June 1st to September 1st, which is meteorological summer, and then September 1st to December 1st, which is meteorological fall. It sounds like a mouthful, but we break it down that way. It just helps us keep track of weather data in a cleaner way than keeping up with the astronomical changes that tend to move our official start to summer or spring or fall or winter by a day or two. That can just mess up our pattern. So, with that out of the way, yes, new beginnings beginning on this September 1st with a beautiful view of our sky cam out in Dimmitt. This is a wonderful shot, one of many. You could see the yellows, the oranges, the purples kicking in as the sun crosses the horizon. Very scenic this morning out there, but it's not the only beautiful shot out there that we have. Taking a look at our Skycam in Bushland, I mean, this is a stunner. We haven't had a shot like this in a very long time. I think Thursday last week was the last time we had seen the sun like this, besides this past weekend. Just a beautiful way to kick off a new week, a new month, and of course, to mark the unofficial end to summer. Although summer might actually be making a comeback at some point this week. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit. But first, the temperatures this morning, we're starting out in the 50s and 60s as you walk out the door. 59 in Silverton, 61 for Hereford and Dimmitt, 58 for Dalhart and Boise City, 62 for Amarillo, and 65 for both Borger and Pampa. Our dew points are sitting mainly in the 50s and 60s. Higher dew points are going to be the further east and south you're going to be. But overall, it's going to feel pleasant, not as muggy. It's been a rare occurrence for me to say this, but I say this with much pride. There's not much on our radar at this hour, which is all good news, especially for those who are trying to hit the roads this morning and might be doing some last minute travel. Taking a look at that planner, you'll notice this morning, starting off cool in the 60s and 50s across the board. We'll warm up nicely as we head to early afternoon. But for those trying to establish some kind of late afternoon plans or evening plans, whether that's grilling, pool, travel, hiking, whatever the case is, it's going to be a beautiful day across the board. The model here is indicating some possible isolated storm chances over portions of eastern New Mexico. I'm not convinced of this. Can't rule out an isolated storm, mainly reserved for that area, but if it does flare up, it'll be fairly weak. In terms of the overnight hours into Tuesday morning, will cool down into the 50s and 60s. The model here has Clayton sitting at 54 degrees tomorrow morning, quite chilly, or cool rather. Tuesday, we heat up, but a little bit cooler than today. It's still below average in terms of temperatures. We'll warm up into the low to mid 80s across the board. And again, can't rule out an isolated flare up storm over portions of eastern New Mexico, especially with that northwest flow aloft that could trigger some storm development. But overall, I think we remain clear. We just don't have enough instability and we don't have a storm or disturbance in place to give the lift that's needed for storm development. Waking up to Wednesday, heading into waking up Wednesday, temperatures already into the 70s early in the morning. So by the time we get into the afternoon, our temperatures could approach the 90-degree mark yet again. It's been a while since we have had temperatures above average. We'll see if that comes to fruition. So for those who are planning your afternoon and evening plans, mild and calm conditions expected. Highs expected into the mid to upper 80s, lower 90s can't be ruled out. So average temperatures across the board tonight will cool down into the 50s and 60s, cooler. If you have any evening plans, you might want to just grab this sweater, especially if you're heading out early tomorrow morning as well. Taking a look at our what's next weather maker, we have that area of high pressure that was shielding us. It still is shielding us. That'll continue to be the case as we head into midweek this week as it approaches our area. But then by the time we get to the end of the week, that western ridge is going to break down. And by the time we get into the weekend, there could be a disturbance that makes its way into our area, and that could trigger some moisture to develop, and that can give us some unsettled weather again, another wet weekend. Taking a look at our precipitation outlook, get used to these damp and dreary conditions that we have been accustomed to, at least for the summer months. Over the next 6 to 10 days, we have a 40% chance of being above normal. But in terms of our temperatures, we're inching toward a closer to normal temperature reading, which would be overall, our temperatures overall would be closer to average, which would be amazing considering the last couple of days and weeks we have been below average in terms of our temperature as well. Now, taking a look at our 7 day tracker, we'll notice mild and calm conditions across the board, temperatures in the 80s for much of the week. Our cooler days look like Tuesday, but also the weekend looks a bit cooler again as the disturbance tries to move through. But Wednesday's going to be my pick of the week. Both today and Wednesday. Wednesday's just a hotter day. I do favor warmer temperatures, but Wednesday does look like a last beautiful kind of summer reminder for us with highs approaching the upper 80s, lower 90s across the board. So I hope you all are able to enjoy this extra day off here across the areas with school out and children around. Hope you're able to fill your day with joy and pleasant weather, and hope you all take care and have a great rest of your day.